Hey, Uncle, I'm so glad you could stay with us for the holidays. And thanks for coming to tuck me in tonight. But I'm too excited to sleep. Will you tell me a bedtime story?
Well, what always helps me feel calm and secure? I know, mitigation. Mitigation means lessening your risk from disaster by removing hazards and strengthening your home against disaster effects. It gives you great peace of mind. I'll tell you my favorite mitigation bedtime story. 'Twas the night before Preparedness, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a gopher. The chimney had been inspected with care, so no accidental fires would happen in there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while carbon monoxide detectors watched over their heads. And Mom with her wrenches, and Dad with his wrap, were once again missing a long-deserved nap.
Have you seen camlock D? I can't put side F into slot J with peg R without camlock D.
When out on the porch, there arose such a clatter. They ran to the door to see what was the matter. The moon was abreast on the week old slush, revealing tiny footprints tracked through the mush. A tiny figure had climbed the porch railing, and now like a flash down the wall was abseiling. At the house numbers he stopped, and without missing a beat, replaced them with ones easily seen from our street. Then in a blur he scaled up the shutters, leapt to the roof and dove into the gutters. He cleaned out all the sticks and leaves to prevent ice dams from forming on top of the eaves. They wanted to thank him, so they cracked open the door, but he raced right in and across the floor. To an outlet he scampered, all cords and wires, and installed power strips to prevent electrical fires. They watched in amazement as he crossed the room once more, and couldn't help feeling like they'd seen this rodent before.
You know, that squirrel sure looks familiar.
His eyes, how they sparkled, his paws, oh so fuzzy.
He's not going to eat that whole plate of nuts, was he?
With leaps and bounds, really quite acrobatic, he raced up the stairs and into the attic. His paws were a blur as he hammered and tapped, strengthening the roof with new hurricane straps. Then down to the basement he went in a hurry. Just who was this helper all fluffy and furry?
His name's right on the tip of my tongue.
He inspected the anchor bolts on the foundation walls, making sure there were nuts on each of them, one and all. They watched him as he worked, humming to himself, and suddenly it hit them.
It's the Mitigation Elf.
That champion of Ready, that beacon of Preparedness. A helper to all. Hey, nothing rhymes with preparedness. Like lightning he flew, intent on his task, and he barely slowed down as he turned to them and asked, "Have you cleared all the branches away from your roof? Have you gotten your flood insurance and your basement waterproofed?" Then suddenly it seemed his task was complete. He turned, and with the pitter-patter of his feet, he raced to the door, and he only slowed when he passed the nut tray and grabbed some more for the road. Then with his cheeks packed up tight, he launched through the cat door and into the night. And they heard him proclaim as he scampered out of sight, "Happy Preparedness to all! Happy Preparedness to all, and to all a safe night."
Mitigation is part of preparedness. These steps will reduce your home's vulnerability by strengthening it or removing hazards. Examples of mitigation include checking that your outlets are not overloaded with too many plugs. Make sure your house numbers are clearly visible from the street so that emergency services can find you quickly. Have your chimney, furnace, and foundation inspected. Install structural ties, such as hurricane straps. This increases your home's wind resistance. Remove dead or damaged trees and branches that are close to the home. Make sure you have insurance for all types of hazards in your area. Include flood insurance. Installing smoke and carbon monoxide detectors, and test them regularly. Also, fire extinguishers should be placed at recommended locations throughout the home. For more information, visit the Federal Alliance for Safe Homes website.